The good news is that for a full year, his administration has been opposed to any kind of energy production, whether it's fossil fuel, alternative, any kind, wind, solar. So at least he's saying that. But the problem is, this was just sent, we were ready to start drilling off the coast. His proposal is now to change the plan so we don't even start talking about it until 2012, and with a this is an Obama moratorium. So we're not pushing forward, and I would love him to open up the land areas, because especially here in Utah, we have energy to help solve the problems of this nation.
All right, I agree with that. That's what my folks are. Let me ask you the same question that I asked Senator Hatch. All right, you're in Washington. You know what? The American people, you look at the numbers, they have never been more distrustful of government. We've never seen such activism as we're seeing with the Tea Party movement and town halls and politicians being confronted. Have you ever seen it this bad? And if so, tell me when. And if not, why do you think it's too bad?
Well, I just love that people are getting up out of their seats and actually doing something. That's what this country was founded upon. That's what, we should applaud that. Instead, they're mocked, they're called names, there's all these accusations. That's what this country is founded upon. We need to applaud that kind of action.
The level of anger and anticipation and anxiety has never been higher. And I've heard that from people talking all last year. I just hope that they remember that feeling from now through till November. Yeah. And don't forget that. That's the key element.
Well, I think that's really a key point. What do you think it is, though? I mean, look, we've chronicled the bribery, the corruption, the backroom deals, the shifting of rules, the Constitution. I mean, we've gone over this in fine detail. I think the American people get it. The latest Rasmussen poll shows that the American people actually think the Tea Party movement knows more about the health care bill than members of Congress, and probably more people have read it.
Yeah, they do.
Which is pretty interesting.
True. They do.
So, is it that the Democratic Party, they've lost all their any moderate wing that they might have had? What do you think?
No, I think it's the arrogance that they just drove forward. They just plowed through people. They weren't listening to the American people. And they're passing massive legislation with not even one Republican on board. Yeah. It's just an arrogance that just is pervasive.
It's not all rank and file Democrats. It's the Democratic leadership in Congress.
Yeah, but they're following, wait a minute, the blue dog, I call it the blue dog lapdog. All right?
You got it right.
The blue dog lapdog, whatever Nancy Pelosi says she wants, they're going to follow in suit. They ran as moderates. They're not that moderate, right?
But the key is changing the leadership of Congress. That's what has to happen.
Well, I think that's a difficult task. How difficult a task is that? I watch my kids' tennis matches all the time, and I watch all their friends' tennis matches, and I can't tell you how many times, kids are up 6-0, 5-1, second set, best out of 3 sets, and then the other guy comes back and wins. I mean, a lot of people are confident right now. Can Republicans lose in November in spite of the fact you think they'll be successful?
Look, job number 1, fire Nancy Pelosi. That ought to be job number 1.
I'm with you. And wait a minute. Job number 2, fire Reid. And job number 3, make Obama one-term president. All right,
there we go. But you got to do that district by district, and that's where people need to get up out of their seats, stay involved in the fight, talk to their neighbors, talk to their friends, get on Facebook. I mean, all these things go in our favor, because if you just do it principle by principle, we win. We win big.
Well, that's the interesting part of this. There's a poll that came out, and I have it here in my stack of stuff. I'm going to find it. There's a poll that came out actually today, and I think this is pretty interesting. And this is a Gallup poll. It shows that the American people think by a 10-point margin that Obamacare will hurt the overall. Will hurt the economy by 10 points, hurt the overall quality of health care 55 to 29. And that it'll increase the federal deficit 61-23. We won the debate, but they ended up cheating and getting the votes.
For now.
For now.
There is still, remember, none of this goes into effect for another 4 or 5 years. The taxes start now, but the benefits don't. And if we even get one House of Congress in control, we can postpone this so that we can actually repeal and start over and replace it with something that actually gives Americans options and choices and solves the health care cost problem, not just the insurance.
Congressman, guys, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chuck. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much. And coming up, nearly a third of U.S. states are now challenging the constitutionality of the Democrats' health care bill. The state of Utah is in that fight. And coming up next is the man behind that effort, and Michelle Malkin coming up live right here in Utah. Straight ahead.